Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free. It does not cost you anything. If there's something you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. This is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a Tower as our first card. Real breakthrough, right? This is some really explosive energy. And sometimes it's disruptive. Sometimes it's unexpected. But this is rapid change. This is like overnight, something's different about you, right? I think this is a big win for you. Okay? I think this is a victory that is unleashing your potential. But we need some context, okay? Anytime there is abrupt change, it can be disruptive to our lives, okay? It could maybe even cause some kind of unknown, unwanted, or unexpected consequences. Yeah, let's see what's going on here. Oh, 9 of Cups. Happiness. The pursuit of happiness, following your bliss. Okay, we got a Prince of Swords, 4 of Swords, Prince of Wands. I think what these three are talking about is that the time for conversation is over. It's time to act. Right? It's time to do it. This is victory. And look at that. Lust or Strength card in the future position. You are free to create your life as you will. You are overcoming something significant. And it really does say that, look, the time for thinking about it is done. It's time to do it. Okay? 4 of Wands now. More fire energy. We're putting we're completing something. We're done with something from the past. Okay. The 8 of Cups. I think we're leaving. I think we're done with some sort of toxic environment. We're living in the swamp. We're done. We're out of it. Over. Right. That's the key. These are both very strong Leo energies. Right. I don't know if you have a strong Leo placement in your chart. Here's the 9 of Swords in the position of what we do not want. And we do not want stagnation by overthinking things. We're not going to put up with the talking. We're going to do. Another Prince. Oh, you got all the good cards today. But more importantly than having all the best cards, right? You've got them in the right positions. So yeah, we've got the 8 of Cups, the 9 of Swords. They're not the best cards, are they? Right? Even the Tower sometimes is not the best card. Because sometimes the Tower can be unwanted change. Well, I think this is a change for the better. I think you're on a new path. I think that you have these princes. You have this, well, one, you have fixed energy. And to me, the fixed energy, the princes of the tarot, are committed. They receive their orders and they're doing it and nothing can stop them. You're out there in the world doing these things. Okay? You have committed yourself to it. You've taken the oath. You've made the promise. And I think that the Prince of Swords is your commitment in your mind, your mental, psychic commitment. You know, you've committed your thoughts to this, that we're blocking out those unwanted negative thoughts. Right? That right now we're focused on positive thinking, being proactive. We're fixed in our mind. We're fixed in our spirit, in our consciousness, in our creative will, And we're fixed in our bodies, right? With the Prince of Pentacles, this is the builder. That's the one that's out there putting all these things together. So I think that this trio of cards, Prince, Prince, and Prince, this is your new path. Right? You're off in this new direction. We've escaped something. We've ended something that wasn't working for us. That 8 of Cups, right? And maybe this was a state, an emotional state that we were in. We don't see a lot of earth energy here, okay? So we're not going to focus too much on what we're getting away from. I just know that it didn't feel good. You weren't happy there. We're not focused on that. We're done with it. We're saying, yep, okay, it's done. It's wrapped up. It's ending. It's over. No more thought needs to be wasted on that anymore, you know? You're achieving this victory. It's more of a victory over your own heart and mind than over that opponent or that situation, someone or something else. No, you're done with that. And it's like with with both of these 4s, it's kind of like we're saying, I'm done. That's ending, period, full stop. End of the sentence. No more thinking, no more action, no more consciousness, no more creative energy, no more energy at all is going to be wasted on what that was. So it's a victory within ourselves that now we are ready for this new path. We're on this new kind of journey, and it's a journey of fulfillment, of pursuing your goals, right? Of going after your deepest satisfaction, your creativity, your will, and it's yours. You have to do it. You have to build it, right? Like I said, the time for talking about it or thinking about it is done. It's time to act. It's time to will, and it's time to build, right? Fire to earth. And it's interesting, Capricorn, that you are the cardinal earth energy. You are fire and earth. Fire and earth. You've got to have the will. And then you've got to do the physical part of it. You've got to build it, right? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. It's a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. It is the factor infinite and unknown. And it's going to go right here. We're going to put Mr. Ed right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. But if at any point during this reading you feel like you know what that card is, go ahead and put your prediction down in the comments. Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise, okay? Let's take a look around the room. We've got 2 major arcana energies. We've got the Tower and the Lust card. A lot of good fiery energy right here. I think that this is an abrupt change, that this is a kind of sudden victory. Usually change is kind of slow, right? Change is over time. It happens. And really what it is time goes, the change goes slow and gradual until bang, it hits, right? Until that moment where there is significant physical, visible, actual, like things are like night and day, right? It's now we're on the new path. I think things have been building up for a long time. I think that there have been a lot of slow and gradual changes. You know, it's happening over time. It's an evolution until now. Now it is that sudden, disruptive, overnight kind of instantaneous change, right? Change always goes slow, and then it goes fast, right? And then there's that moment where things just flip. And I think it's really unleashing your vitality. You feel free. You feel empowered. I think that you're going to feel very, very creative. You're going to feel very free. And there's going to be a lot of energy, I think, that really wants to go out and do a million different things. We've got to hold the reins. Let's not get carried away. We've got to stay committed to what we're building, our best life, our happy life, right, of our dream that keeps on dreaming. We've got to follow our will. We've got to follow our dream. Because sometimes this Lust or Strength card can feel so much passion that it burns the candle at both ends, you know, and it's just out there doing everything because everything is so exciting now, you know, like a kid in a candy store. So we've got to stay focused. We've got to stay committed. We've got to remember our commitment. That's why we have these 3 princes. It takes 3 princes to hold the reins of this creative energy, because that's how strongly you're going to feel it. It's going to take all of your effort to then channel all this in a very kind of narrow channel, a disciplined direction. Okay, you're on this new path. It's going to feel like there's just this explosion of energy, and it's going to want to go everywhere. You know, and it's a very good problem to have. But that's what we've got. It's very explosive. It is very, to me, it feels like night, and it feels like suddenly we're waking up, and it's like we drank, 10 cups of coffee. We have all this energy, all this enthusiasm, all this, creative force and fire. And we've got to try to get a handle on it so that we can direct it to our goals, to the kind of the purpose that we have fixed our mind on. Okay, we've got let's see, we've got fire, we've got our water, we've got a little bit of air, we've got our earth. We have a pretty good balance of cards today. The 4 of Swords in the previous position. I think that this was really you saying goodbye to something. Okay, I think that it was to whatever this 8 of Cups situation was for you, right? And it's in your environment, the 8 of Cups. This was a toxic place for you. It could be a workplace, could be a relationship, could be a family situation. It could literally be, I don't know, where you live, where you exist, right? Where you operate. I think the 4 of Swords is us very calmly saying goodbye, closing that energy off, saying no more, going through the door, shutting the door on the other side, not going back. But there's no rage, there's no anger here. I don't think that it's a situation you're going to be friendly with, but you're not wasting another second of energy on it. You're very calm about it. And I think when you're calm, Capricorn, that's how people know you're serious. When you're not reacting emotionally, people are like, uh-oh. You get that very serious, calm look, and that's when people know that you mean it, right? And so there's not a lot of yelling. There's not a lot of slamming doors, We're just calmly getting our stuff and walking away. Yeah. It's like no hard feelings. No feelings at all about this. Because this was a toxic place, and I think it's important that you don't rage against this, because you've got to remember, you got to direct all this fiery energy toward your goals. We don't want to fall into a trap of this 9 of Swords where we somehow stay connected with the situation, and we're going back and forth, and we're arguing and fighting, and we don't have the closure, right? There's still a connection there, and it's a bad one. So we've got to have the 4 and the 4 that just says, clean break, no more, not another second of thought, not another ounce of energy being put into this, because it's all being channeled forward, right? In this direction, toward our dream, toward our 9 of Cups. We've got to talk about the Prince of Swords here, because I feel that it wasn't an easy decision for you. I feel like you don't make decisions on a whim. No, you're deliberate, and I think that's part of your character. This is kind of the card that's underneath everything. This is what's beneath the surface in you, and it may seem like a tower moment to everybody. It may seem like this was very sudden, very abrupt, but like I said before, change is slow and gradual until it hits. Until it's fast, So I think this card's telling me that it is part of your character to be very thoughtful. And if you're doing something big now, right? If you're setting out on this new path in life, it took you a while to get to this point. A lot of thought went into this. I think you've been considering this and planning this in your head for a while. It's not just abrupt change. It might be abrupt now because now is the time where you are implementing everything. Now it's that plan in action, but this has been growing and building up for a long time. I think you've been planning it for a long time, getting everything ready, getting everything in order. And right now is the moment where everything hits. This is the moment where we get to put this plan into action, and we get to set off on this new journey of freedom and love and zest and vitality and creativity. It could be that you're leaving this company to go start your own business or work independently. Maybe you're leaving a relationship to go do life on your own for a while. Maybe this is us leaving the family home. Maybe we're leaving school or university. And maybe this, if you're leaving school or university, let's say, I don't think you're quitting before you graduate. I don't think that's it. I think this is that thing that's been building up, building up, building up. Now is that graduation day, and it's just like, see you later. I'm not looking back. I'm not, it's just a clean victory, right? And so there is that idea of a clean break. If this is something like a school or university thing, we got to talk about this Eight of Cups anyway. Because the Eight of Cups, it wasn't doing it for us. It's not where we wanted to be. Now, I said it was a toxic environment. It's kind of a swamp, right? It feels like quicksand. It feels like this is a place that we will never get out of. And it's dark, it's stormy, it's wet, and we don't like the feeling of it, It has that ickiness to it. So I feel like wherever this was that you were, maybe it was school. I don't feel like that was such a joyous experience for you. If this was the workplace, if this was the family environment, if this was a relationship, you didn't really enjoy being there, right? It wasn't your Nine of Cups. It wasn't an active pursuit of your dreams out here, living the dream, building the dream. No, it was just an icky place that I had to endure for however many years or whatever, like if it's school. Like, honestly, this was my experience of middle school and high school was like this for me, And then when I graduated high school, it was Four of Swords. It was a clean see you later. Not looking back, not wasting another ounce of energy, even being angry about anything, not holding on to anything, just letting it all go, right? Clean break, clean, no more ties, right? No more ties. And so I feel that there's some element of that here with the Eight of Cups for you, okay? And it might just be that this situation has been very lacking, right? Maybe it's not as toxic or as icky as I'm experiencing this card. Maybe for you it was just like kind of boring, Maybe it was just something that you felt like was very stagnant. There was no zest to it. There was no passion there, right? It was just existing. And it's an 8, right? It's an 8. It's an even number. It's a state of things, right? There's no movement. There's no motion there. And if it's not toxic now, it will eventually become toxic, right? If it's not icky now, eventually it would feel that way, if it doesn't already. What we're really wanting is that Nine of Cups. We want that to replace our environment, right? And I think that you're setting off on this path now that feels like it is an expression of your true self. And we've got that up here with the Prince of Wands. You're the kind of person that has a creative side. You have a spiritual vision. You have a will of your own. You have plans. You've got purpose in life. You've got zest and robustness. Now, you don't have to be a college-age person. This doesn't have to be a school thing. Well, you could be 100 years old and you can be graduating, from a university or a school or a trade school, technical school, I don't know, anything, right? This isn't an age thing at all. You've got this youthful vitality to you right now because you know what you want. You know where you want to go. You have the vision. And we're committed to that vision. And this is that point in time where we just say, I don't care about anything else. I'm doing this. And maybe it's because we are getting older and it's just like, I'm finally going to be done with everything in my life that I've let hold me back. Now I am doing this. And if you don't like it, if you guys don't want to come with me, I don't care. Well, you're the goat. You can do it solo if you need to. You have the drive. You have the vision for this thing. Yeah, for your future. And it's a very creative future. It's a very, I'm going to say it's a wild time, but it can be, right? It can be very wild. It is, it's very energized, right? There's a lot of this kind of magical quality to it where it's almost surreal. Yeah, almost surreal. And this, I think, in a very simple way, this is you pursuing your passion in life. Doing what you feel you are meant to do with that zest and that vitality and that robust energy. Very creative, very intense, right? And we've got to harness that. We've got to stay controlled and committed to that and stay on that path. Yeah. Because I think that you have fought hard to get to this point for whatever this period of time was that's been kind of slowly evolving. Now's the time where you've got to kind of put your money where your mouth is, I don't know what that means exactly, but anyway, 4 of Wands down here. For you, it has to be a clean break, right? And mainly because we know how intensely we feel things. And so if we have anything left lingering in here, or in this previous state of our energy, we know that it's going to prevent us from really fully activating all of this and getting this happiness, right? 9 of Cups, that's happiness. Pursuing our bliss, following our bliss, right? So we can't have any attachments to this previous state of things. We have to be able to let that go. Okay. So you're someone, I think, who's very aware of the stages of life. There's not a lot of nostalgia right now. With the 4 of Wands, I think that this is okay. I'm graduating, or I've left this job, or now I'm in retirement, or whatever it is, whatever this cycle is that we're letting go of, right? We're walking away from it. It's time to move on. You don't have any desire to cling to that, There's no, maybe it was a good time, maybe it was a bad time, I don't know. It doesn't matter to you. It is what it is. That's done. That's in the past. I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking forward. So you're not clinging to things from the past. And I think that this is allowing you to focus all of your energy on this happiness, this passion, this future, this new path. Okay? You've got some obstacles, though. You've got a heart and a mind, obviously, right? And when we're talking about the manifestation, fire to earth, right? Implementing our will, up here, fire to earth even here, right? Fire to earth is the spiritual circuit, electrical circuit. Going from fire to earth, impulse to behavior, will to action, idea to implementation, inspiration to manifestation, right? Fire to earth. What usually gets in the way of that process is our human mind, right? And sometimes it's for the better, sometimes not. We think we have an impulse to do something and then immediately it becomes a behavior. Sometimes it's not always the right behavior. So we have a human mind and heart that can filter that, right? That can slow down the process before it gets to behavior, before it gets to the earth energy. And that's what we see here. We see this now being the fire, this being the earth, this is the impulse, this is the behavior. Your impulse has to go through the heart and the mind to get to manifestation. And I think we're realizing, I think this is what we have this victory over. This is what we've been doing now, is realizing that the situation we've been in, the environment that we've been in, has been slowing down this process of us kind of living our life and manifesting our purpose in life, our own will. Okay? So I think realizing that this past situation is done, either it was going nowhere or it was becoming toxic, or there's just it's ran its course, and there's no point in staying here. So in order for us to pursue our happiness, we've got to activate this fire energy, and we've got to take matters into our own hands. This is the card of magic. This is the card of knowing how the process of fire to earth works. And it's about purifying our heart and our mind, right? In order to clear this channel, so we've just got fire and earth. We have our will and we have the manifestation of it. But we have to, always keep this in mind. We can't completely lose our heart or our mind, right? We have to be aware of situations that we may encounter in the future that are going to weigh us down, that are going to be toxic or just unhealthy or kind of stagnant, right? Because you have this desire to go from an 8 to a 9. The 8, this is someone that doesn't feel well. This now is somebody that is feeling better. When you're sick and you're miserable, right? But when you start to feel better, when you realize that you're getting well again, it gives you so much like happiness. It feels so good because we're comparing it to what felt so bad, And that's kind of what we've got here. This has not felt very good. This has either been, like I said, something stagnant, something toxic, or was going to become toxic. We didn't feel so well here. But now that we've gotten out of this, now we have this rebound pleasure, this rebound feeling of wellness. And it's giving us a lot of courage, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of this robust zest energy, But we've got to be careful with it. Okay, we don't want to fall into a 9 of Swords pit. This is obviously what we don't want. We don't want our heart or our mind to interfere with this process. We don't want to allow ourselves to slow down or get into a negative situation. Okay, so we have to be very honest with ourselves. We have to allow our human nature to be there, and we're gonna have moments of doubts. We're gonna have moments of not feeling well again, or questioning the path that we're on, or wondering if we've got what it takes, to be out here living our best life. So these are serious cards, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a 9 of Swords. We can fall into that pit where we are just, we're not being all that kind to ourselves, right? We've got to be aware of this. We've got to understand when we start to backslide, or maybe part of these cards here too are saying that maybe we're going to feel drawn to go back to this situation a little bit. Maybe right now we feel like it's a clean break and I'm not wasting another second of energy on it. But as we move forward, we might be tempted. We might encounter that energy again, that part of our heart, part of our mind, that we might have this urge to backslide. We have to be aware of that. If we are totally oblivious to the possibility, it's going to creep up on us. Let's check the mystery card and see what this could be. I didn't want to bring that up, but I feel like I kind of have to. I feel like this, especially with the Prince of Swords, this might be someone that's kind of trying to get you back, and we know it's not good for us. We know that it isn't the way we manifest our will, but there's something that sometimes is going to call us back to that energy again. Okay? And we've got to be aware of that. All right. Well, let's look at the mystery card. Now, the mystery card, I would like it to be an Ace of Swords. I would like it to be clarity, a decision, no wavering, right? That we can see when our heart or our mind start to have doubts, we start to feel pulled back to this negative energy, that we know enough, that we're aware, we can see it, and I'm not listening to it. Staying focused, staying committed. Right? If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we've got. Somehow I knew, a few minutes ago, I had the idea of the Seven of Cups as being that swamp kind of energy. And this is us kind of being tempted back to the swamp, where the swamp now has dressed itself up as an oasis. Okay? Because we have now, we want the 9. Here's the 8. Here's the 7. We're going backwards, right? So the swamp, we recognize, we see it for what it is. We feel how it feels now. But now the 7, it's dressed up. It looks a little bit nicer. Well, maybe it's not a swamp after all. It's putting on its best, suit and tie. And if this is a relationship, this is somebody now that has cleaned themselves up for the day, and they're just kind of like, look, I'm better. Look, I've got my stuff together. Putting on a very pleasant face. But you know what's underneath it. This is an illusion. This is, you break up with somebody and then they put on their best outfit and they just act really, really nice, and they say, oh, you made a mistake. Look at me, I'm perfect. But you can see through that. It's a facade, right? It's somebody that puts on their best behavior after you already say, hey, I'm out of here. You tell your boss, I'm leaving, I'm getting out of here, I'm quitting. And then they say, oh, no, don't quit. Look at this. We'll give you a new office. We'll give you a raise. And you can, no, I see through that. It's too little too late, right? Everybody puts on their best behavior after we've already kind of said, hey, I'm out of here. And then you're going to start acting, like a person, So I think that's what we've got going on here, and we've got to be aware. We've got to watch out for that. Because I think that's a real temptation here, is that something, this past energy, is going to dress itself up to look like a paradise. But it's not. You know that it's a swamp there. Okay? Don't let yourself be fooled. Stick to your path, because this is a good one. And this is the victory. This is why I say I feel like we're having this victory over this, because you're going to see this coming and it's not going to fool you. Nope. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There is one down below. New readings for Capricorn every Thursday and Sunday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, does not cost you anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.